Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody out there in social media land. I don't see my face. I hope you can see me. But this is Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. I'm Ray Amanat in sunny Port Richey, Florida. And my guest host, Mr. Steve Reed, is somewhere in Texas.
Guest
Um,
host?
th- there we are.
Guest host? I don't know why you weren't showing up. You were
My
there on my screen.
co-host, my co-host, you're a guest. You
Yeah,
were a
whatever.
guest in my apartment, so
Yeah. Oh, Ray, other
welcome,
than
Steve. We started off with technical difficulties. What is up with
yeah,
that?
Ray, I hate to tell you this, but it was technical on your end because I did everything right.
Oh, okay. Well, luckily the word for today, and I think I can kind of relate to this with you, is hypocrisy.
You are such a hypocrite yourself.
Oh man. Well, I think everyone's a hypocrite in one way or another, but I think our government is our current administration and on both sides of the aisle, both Democratic and Republican, are the poster child, or if you look it up in the dictionary, the actual definition is look up politics. Look up politicians and you'll see the word hypocrisy. What say you, Mr. Reed?
Yeah, what I say is we have to make sure that we don't offend anyone today.
Oh, hell no.
because
I want to
because
offend
we are a
everyone.
family friendly show and we don't want to alienate. We want to Ray, I think we need to go woke today as much as we possibly can. And we should probably do a disclaimer and tell our listening friends that this is an opinion based program and it doesn't necessarily reflect us or any sponsors, advertisers, technical people. It doesn't it hopefully it won't offend any Eskimos or Vietnamese or Chinese or Hispanics, or we just we want to be really kind and thoughtful today.
You can be, but I am going to be myself. Um, just
Are you,
because this is taboo talk, and everything we talk about is unfiltered in a safe way. We're not. Well, we are PG rated here. PG
so,
rated.
so Ray,
Sometimes PG 17, 16, whatever the heck that is.
are you
Um,
telling me that I just sounded hypocritical
um, well,
Be-
that's how we started the show. I
because I
mean,
want to go woke today? Are you telling me that I was being a hypocrite, saying one thing but believing something very different?
yes, I am.
Right. I'm deeply hurt that you would not just insinuate or imply and even infer, but you would call me a hypocrite.
And a snowflake, and and
Not for long.
maybe
Not for long.
some
I am in Texas.
maybe some other adjectives I could come up with. Maybe I should call my brother. He's the king of adjectives.
Oh,
But
mercy.
you.
All right, so Ray, come
Let's
on.
dive into all the issues that's going on, especially with the election coming up and all of the hypocrisy BS that's going on between all the candidates um, that are acting so childish. I thought they grew up and graduated college, and yet they're still talking to each other like they're in elementary school. I mean, it
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
like they're a bunch of 14-year-olds.
I mean, you and I were talking the other day, and one of the examples that I came up with as far as why I think there's so much hatred for former President Donald Trump is I look at the Nancy Pelosi's and the Chuck Schumers and the Ocasio Cortez and all the other people that pretty much spew hate for Donald Trump. They're the nerds that were in school, and Donald Trump was I still don't know when my picture's not coming up. Just
Well,
keep us
Ray,
both
I
on
won't
there.
do that. So
I
I
don't.
will make
Well,
sure that we both stay online the whole time.
yeah,
So
I have no idea what's going on there, but
just put
Donald
you up
Trump
by
is
yourself.
the jock, the popular guy that all the nerds really resented and hated, and that's what I see is going on in the media. They look at Donald Trump as the popular guy, the jock, the one that everyone loves. Not everyone, because you have the left that are the nerds or whatever that pretty much don't like him or dislike him, and they're just trying to take out all of their frustrations and resentment on him or anyone that associates with him. What do you think?
I think you're totally off base. I think you are wrong. Plain and simple, I think you're wrong. Okay. Here's my perspective on things. The Nancys and the Chuckies and Ocasio and all of those people, those are the people that were the privileged ones. And Donald Trump was the blue collar guy. He had to work for a living.
But he
And
was a millionaire. His dad gave him
now,
millions of dollars, so
okay, but
he
now he's
was
a billionaire.
privileged too.
No, he was a pauper compared to where he is today. Okay, so the Nancys and the Chuckies of the world are the elitists that are flexing their muscle because they don't want the little guy, the blue collar guy, to make it on his own. They don't like that he is making it or has made it on his own. And so that's the elite. Scranton Joe, that's a bunch of, anyway, Scranton Joe
Or
Biden.
what they're calling him now is Mr. Storyteller Joe, because he likes telling stories. Everything Trump says is a lie, but everything Joe says is a story.
Yeah. Okay. Let me make sure that I understand. We're talking about the same person. Is this the person that said that he was in the top half of his graduating class when in fact he was in the bottom third? Is
That
that the
yeah,
Joe Biden?
that would be
Okay.
the person that we are talking about. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, I need some more clarification. Is this the same Joe Biden that several years ago, I think it is, but several years ago made a comment? He is against racism totally, completely. He loves everybody, all nationalities. Is it the same Joe Biden that said, you have to speak with a little bit of an Indian accent when you go into a 7-Eleven or a
That
Dunkin' Donuts? Is
that
that?
is the very Joe Biden.
Wait,
Not to
wait a
mention,
second.
he recently said that he comes from Cuban origin. That he was raised by the Cuban community,
No, Puerto Rican,
where
Puerto Rican, Puerto
Puerto
Rican,
Rican, Cuban,
Puerto Rican.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah. He was in Puerto Rico after they had the hurricane devastation. So see, once again, you're wrong. Okay. So, but I'll don't worry. I'm your wingman. I've got you covered. I will correct you when you make another mistake, and you will.
But I want to make a lot of mistakes just so you can correct me. We're going to keep our audience on their toes. We want you to fact check everything that I say and Steve says. And, that's the whole point behind our show is don't listen to the media, people. Do your own fact checking. Facebook is not always right. Twitter is not always right. Don't look at social media. Don't look at mainstream media as fact. Do your own research, do your own homework, and weed out the hypocrisy that's going on in our country.
Ray, you brought up fact checkers. Okay, I did not remember. I want to make sure that we make peace with everybody. I want them to be on our side, and I want to oblige and accommodate their challenges. I posted something on the book of many faces, and it had to do with a farmer. I want to say he was in Iowa, and he was working with a very large tractor company that happens to use green and yellow as their primary colors. And they run a lot. I'll let you read between the lines. And the story goes, the article that I read said that this farmer was approached by this tractor company about transitioning into electric tractors. And that he said, in harvest time, these tractors and combines are running 24 hours a day for about 10 days to 2 weeks because they have to bring the crop in, the harvest in at specific times. Otherwise, it spoils. There's too much moisture, not enough moisture, whatever. Okay. So I posted this particular article and how the electric vehicles, tractors, combines would not work for him. Well, somebody from the illustrious Book of Many Faces sent me a little notification that it was not a factual article and I had to pull it down. Well, I did more research, and the guy that actually wrote the article, once again, says, I stand by my words 100%. I can document every single thing that happened. But yet, the Book of Many Faces doesn't like that I countered what the EV community is saying. What say you?
Well, I was just looking at our mutual friend Ruben, that's pretty much commenting all over the place on our Facebook posts, which, by the way, those of you that want to jump in on the conversation can go to Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve on Facebook and comment. I think Ruben's getting a little nervous, but Ruben, shout out to you.
Oh, mercy. Yes, you can also find us on YouTube Live. So it's either Facebook Live, Taboo
But if
Talk with
they if
Ray and
they want
Steve.
to comment and be a part of the conversation, you want to go.
Yes. Well, they can
Yeah,
comment on our YouTube page also, which is also Taboo Talk with Ray and Steve. You can comment. In fact, my understanding is you can like, you can comment, you can share, you could even subscribe on the YouTube channel. That would be
absolutely.
wonderful if people did that. So anyway,
Yeah.
so Ray, give me some other examples, another illustration of what you think is hypocrisy amongst our government.
Well, let's take our FBI for example.
Please, can I get rid of them? Where can I take them? How about to communist China?
uh, the way that they treat Republicans versus the way they treat Democrats, where they give a lot of the Democrats a pass.
Yeah.
You look at Hunter Biden's laptop, you look at all of Hillary Clinton's emails, you look at everything that has happened that the FBI has access to, but they did not raid any of their homes. They
Right.
did not confiscate any of their stuff. They gave them a pass.
Okay.
When it comes to Donald Trump, they just, it's been one hit after another hit after another hit, um, just because of an agenda that they have.
Ray, I hate to do this to you, but once again,
Am I wrong?
I have to correct you.
All
I,
right.
I'm I'm
Bring
sorry,
it.
Ray. I'm sorry, but you said that the FBI gives the liberals and Democrats, the Bidens and the Pelosi's and so forth, all of them a pass, but not so much with Republicans. I totally, completely disagree with you. Conservatives.
Yes. No, I
Because they're
agree
giving
with
Mitt
that.
Romney a pass right now. They're giving Liz Cheney a pass. Now, they
True.
are quote unquote Republicans,
In
but
name
in name
only.
only. Okay. But conservatives, you don't get a pass. And they're going to do anything they possibly can. And it's not just conservatives, it's also and I hate to put people in a class or a category, but the religious right is being mistreated in a lot of different ways.
So you had all the people that were looting churches and everything. Nothing happened to them, but you had
Correct.
one group that went to an abortion clinic
Yeah.
that was singing hymns.
Hmm.
And the FBI goes and arrests them and arrests
Yeah.
anyone associated with them. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's
that's
the
appropriate. No,
hypocrisy that's out there.
Ray, come on. But they were trying to deny a woman her rights to murder a baby, to abort her baby. That's just Ray. That's just not nice of them.
versus people going and burning down churches and nothing happens to them.
Well, no, it's freedom of expression, Ray. Come on. We have the freedom of expression. I mean, it's in the First Amendment. We have the
Right.
freedom to, I mean, it's political commentary, throwing a Molotov cocktail in a police station, a courthouse, burning and looting somebody's business, destroying things. I mean, that is expression, Ray. Come
Tearing down
on.
statues and things that are historically valuable to everyone.
Ray, there you go again. Those were significant emotions that they were sharing, and those were horrible
It's
people.
their freedom of speech, right?
It is that was horrible people that they were trying to destroy the statues. I mean, people like, I mean, George Washington. I mean, how much more offensive can you get than George Washington? I mean, he had slaves, and Thomas Jefferson, he had slaves. So obviously, you have to destroy their memory. Robert E. Lee, he had slaves. He fought for the South. Come on, we've got to get rid of those people. We can't possibly have that history to learn from that history. We can't. No, we've got to. Right. These people were just, they were expressing, they were so hurt. They were expressing themselves. Right. You need to get to be a little more woke.
You are, I guess winter is coming, and you are one of the biggest snowstorms I've ever seen.
Just call me Mr. Blizzard.
You just, you
Uh,
got a pile in your house. I'm gonna send
uh,
you a shovel.
Ray, I hate to destroy our banter and our commentary and our fun, but you know what? We got to pay some bills. So I understand we have a new commercial for Ray Amanat and Heroes in Action. So, Ray, I'm going to take us out to a commercial real quickly, and I'll see you back here in a minute or so.
And I would really like to thank the OBBM network for helping with this.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Hi, welcome to Heroes in Action. I'm Ray Amanat, founder and creator of this training system. I originally made it so that everyone can train for free. We have programs for kids, for women, families, and businesses. I'm an author, speaker, and educator on everything that has to do with violence and bullying prevention education. If you'd like more information about who we are and what our programs are, please go to our website at heroesinaction.us or give me a call if you have any questions at 727-314-2534. We hope to see you here to train.
Ray, that was a great commercial.
Yeah, it pretty much broke down everything that we do, all the different and actually shows us in action
Yeah,
working with the people that we want to work with. And I've got seminars coming up that I'm excited to talk about later on,
exciting.
where we'll have more pictures, more videos, and everything. So no, things are going good.
So, Ray, let me ask you about Heroes in Action. You said in that commercial that you do seminars for free. How in the world do you do things for free?
Yeah, people are always asking me this question, Ray, how do you pay your bills? Overhead expenses at our training facility in Port Richey, as well as just my personal lifestyle. My
Mhm,
bills, everything that we do is based off of grants and donations. So right now, it's charitable contributions or donations from
mhm,
our fans, from the people that experience our lectures and our seminars.
mhm,
Our goal is to reach at least 4,000 people to become donors on a continual basis. Um, and all we're asking for is $5 a month. If we get 4,000 people that can donate $5 a month, that enables us to go anywhere in the country and provide all of our training, all of our information, our books, our children's books, everything as handouts for free to the general public. We're not there yet. We do need your help. We need. We've got probably, I don't know, a few hundred, and we want to hit 1,000 donors, and ultimately get up to that 4,000 mark where we can travel anywhere and
Outstanding.
not charge a dime.
Outstanding. And my understanding is people can go to your website, which is scrolling
Mhm.
across the bottom, and they can click on the donate button. But it's not just $5 a month. If somebody wants to donate, $500 a month, they could do that too, because you are such an amazing guy.
Whatever is in their wheelhouse that they can afford. We realize with the economy the way it is right now, a lot of people are kind of tightening things up.
Yeah.
But if you're able to help us continue to get out in the communities and offer what we do for free, please consider donating $5 a month.
And folks, if you've got questions for Ray directly, here's his email address so they can reach out to you directly and get more information. And I know from firsthand experience, you're a pretty amazing teacher.
I
So,
appreciate that. Thank you.
no, I appreciate you for giving me some coaching on self-defense. So, anyway, right. We gotta jump back in. Are there any other examples? I know you said the FBI, but are there any other FBI examples of hypocrisy that are going on?
Well, not just FBI, it's another three-letter acronym, the IRS, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Not
my.
them. Oh, okay, so give
Yes.
me give me an example of how the IRS is hypocritical.
Well, the IRS was going after faith-based people and organizations during the Obama years. So you
True.
look at during the Obama administration, they were singling out conservative groups and religious groups,
Yeah.
and giving uh, privileges to other groups, which is again bias and hypocritical because it should be, justice is blind, regardless of what branch of the government you're representing. You should be able to look at somebody and say, yes, this is something that's going to benefit society. And I think they put the curb on a lot of people.
Yeah, but Ray, you know full well that the government is running out of money. So of course they
Running
had
out of
to.
money, they're printing money by the friggin' day. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
right.
just doling it
No,
out like it's nothing.
no, no, right. There you go again. There are too many people that they are hoarding their money, so that the IRS had to go out and request another 87,000 agents that needed to be hired because there are so many unscrupulous people like you that you just don't trust the IRS, so you're keeping your own money. So,
You
yeah.
hear that?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, I think it's the
Are they
IRS
after
knocking
you?
on my door. Hold on.
87,000 new agents? What in the world? And our
The money that they're using for those 87,000 new agents, they could have put towards building safer schools, coming up
absolutely.
with ways to keep kids in schools safe. They could
Yes.
have put people, whether it's police officers, security officers, or anyone
Yeah.
else, they could have gone into the schools
Oh,
to ensure
absolutely.
that all kids stay safe while
Yeah.
they're getting their education.
Yep.
But no, it's about getting money from people. It's how many different ways can the government take our money?
They can squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and but what do we do? Well, unfortunately, the
That's
IRS is hypocritical.
that's why we're having an election coming up in
Oh, yes.
less than a month,
Yep.
and people need to pretty much vote with their hearts. And I think if the conservative Republicans, if we get more conservatives in there, take the House and the Senate, then we'll be able to deal with the FBI and deal with the IRS and deal with our current administration as far as their power overreach.
Yeah.
They're just trying to manipulate and control, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Again, this is an opinion-based show, but I just think that every step of the way, every turn, it's money hungry, power hungry people
yeah,
trying to almost create a new form of dictatorship.
exactly. You know, Ray, I may be wrong with this. I'm not sure. I'm doing some research on this, but because we have become so contentious between conservatives and liberals and Republicans, Democrats, et cetera, I heard a rumor that they're going to actually have two election days this year, that Republicans and conservatives are going to be voting on November 8th, whereas Democrats and liberals are going to be voting on November 9th because they don't want fights to break out at polling places. So they've insisted that it's two different days. That have you heard of that, Ray?
Again, to all the people that are watching our show, all of our viewers, do your fact checking. None of that is true. That's
Oh, come
one of
on,
the
Ray.
oldest jokes in the book that could
I'm
go either
crushed.
way.
I'm crushed, Ray. You're saying it is not factual? Oh, Ray. No, it's not. It is not. Election day is November 8th.
It
Make
is,
sure
and
that
I
you
am.
vote properly. Make sure that you are registered. Make sure that you have your proper government issued identification, driver's license, uh, any kind of identification that has your picture on it. It could be a passport, it could be some other government ID, but you've got to have your identification when you go into the polling place to vote. It's
And
not a
and please, people, be an informed, educated voter. There's
absolutely.
there's people that have been voting Republican or Democrat their whole lives because their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents have always voted that way.
Yeah,
Whether it's because they're part of the unions or part of whatever else. Yeah, you have to look at each party and what they stand for, and is that really going to help not just yourself personally, but help our country. Our
yeah,
country is hurting right now.
yep,
Be an educated, informed voter
absolutely,
before you go into the polling booths this coming
absolutely.
November 8th.
You know, Ray, I need to share a story that you've probably seen because it's in your backyard, and I want to say it was either Sarasota, Fort Myers, Bradenton, someplace along the coast, Gulf Coast, just a few days after the hurricane came sweeping through. There was a middle-aged black gentleman that was being interviewed on camera by somebody. I don't know who it was. And he made the comment that because your governor, Governor DeSantis, was there almost immediately getting the power turned back on, having all of the appropriate people there to help get things cleaned up, security, etc. All of those things that your governor DeSantis did. This gentleman said he was there and he's voting for Governor DeSantis the next time. And he says, and I've been voting Democrat my whole life. I'm voting for Governor DeSantis next time around. Did you hear about that
First,
story?
yeah, I did, and I would love our audience. Please keep the people that got affected by Hurricane Ian in Florida. Keep them in your thoughts and
Oh,
prayers.
absolutely.
If you're able to make any type of a donation to them, make sure you're sending the donation to a legitimate um, place where you know the money is going to go to
Yeah,
actual recovery.
yeah, exactly.
Go to the Florida the website, and they'll give you all the accurate um, charities that the Red Cross and things like that that you can donate to,
Yeah,
that would directly benefit the
yeah.
people that got affected in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, organizations like Samaritan's Purse, I know has people that's there. That's a part of the Billy Graham organization. Baptist Men does a lot of things where they've set up food trucks to feed a lot of the people. There are organizations that are sending generators, bottled water, etc. All of those necessary things. Probably not so much the generators as much anymore, because I think they've gotten a lot of the power restored. But clothing, cleaning products, food items, shelf stable food items, those sorts of things.
Right.
No, and I understand we could raid your closet and you could probably feed, probably a family of 10 for about 6 months based on the hoarding that you've done.
No, we were prepared for the hurricane, and we got those the meals that last for 25 years. And got a couple months worth of it. So yeah, I could feed people if I had to, but
Yeah, there you go.
no, mine, all mine. I'm a
Right.
Democrat. Okay.
Okay.
Now, speaking of people that have been Democrat pretty much their whole life, and then they're changing. Can we talk a little bit about Tulsi Gabbard
Oh,
from
absolutely.
her leaving as a Democrat? Yeah, talk about the Democrats attacking their own.
Yeah.
Ever since they're starting to call her a Russian asset or
They've been
call
they've
her.
been calling her that for the past 2 years.
It's unbelievable. She was like supposedly the new golden child, and now they're just throwing her under the bus left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but she is leaving that Democratic Party.
But Ray, when you stop and think about it, she is privileged. I mean, she's an attractive woman. She's smart. She served in the military for a number of years. And she had some very good ideas. In fact, she challenged a lot of the Democrats that were on stage during the debates, 2020, or yeah, in the fall of 2020. So she challenged a lot of their standards, so she really was a lot more conservative. But here's an attractive woman, and the news media and the other Democrats and liberals are attacking her. So
Well,
and
she was very she was attractive as a Democrat, but now that she's leaving the Democrat Party, I think she's hot. She's more than just being attractive. Her rating just went up.
oh mercy.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
Tulsi, my friend Ray says you're hot. Oh, Ray, you're a mess. But you know what? There are a lot of other red-blooded American men that are saying the exact same thing. So, especially on the conservative side. Now you're going to have those on the liberal or Democrat side that are saying that she's the scum of the earth and she's ugly and she's the wicked witch and so forth because she's a turncoat and she has gone conservative. Now, she did not come out and
She
say that
hasn't
she's
said,
conservative.
yeah, yeah. I
No,
think she might go independent more than anything, but
well,
you
and,
just you
and
just
that's
never know.
fine. I have no problems with that. But what she is saying is she has a mind of her own and she
Hmm.
can think for herself. But you can't do that if you're a liberal or a Democrat. You cannot think on your own. And that, frankly, is one of the biggest challenges that the black community has. If you stare away from the plantation, oh, you're an Uncle Tom. You're a hypocrite. You're not. I mean, I remember. I think you mentioned Joe Biden before. I think it's the
Me?
same Joe Biden that he was interviewing somebody who's a black gentleman, 50-ish years old, and he said something like, "If you don't vote for me, if you vote for that other guy, then you're not black." Is that kind of hypocritical?
That's very hypocritical. I
Really?
mean, it's there's so many examples that I wish we had videos to show
I know.
everyone that
I'm
people
working
can
on that.
see. Hey, it's not just us talking, but these are all things that have actually happened, that have been said, and there is video footage of everything that we're talking about.
Yes, there is
Uh, we're
ample
just,
sources. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Ray, I need to ask you a huge favor. Our buddy Ruben has made several different comments, and
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read all of
I don't have mine on either. So
them.
actually, I'm wearing them in my eyes. All right, let's. Okay, so Tulsi Gabbard is now leaving the Democrat Party because she has some strong. I don't want to condemn her or throw her under the bus or pigeonhole, but she's got a lot of very conservative ideas. Okay.
She's pro country. She's pro military. She's pro everything that our Constitution stands for. She's a constitutionalist. I saw her in an interview the other day with Tucker Carlson,
Mhm.
where she says, "Look, I swore to protect this country when I was in the military, and I again did the same thing to abide by our Constitution when I became. I believe she's a senator, correct?
I think she was House of Representatives, but she's not
Yeah.
in Congress now.
No, she's not. But on numerous occasions, she's sworn to uphold the Constitution,
Yes.
and she's serious about that. Whereas I see a lot of other people that they'll raise their hand and they'll swear
Right.
to stand by and uphold the Constitution, but
Right.
the hypocrisy, no, they just turn coat and go the other way and do whatever they want, nilly willy.
Well,
It's
okay. You said something, and we need to clarify this. You said that she is pro-military. Yes, she is very much pro-military, but she is not a warmonger. Not that I have
no,
seen.
she
I may be
believes
wrong on that.
there's strength, there's peace through strength.
Yes.
She wants
Unlike,
to build our military
okay.
to keep the peace versus what some of the other people are doing to go to war. I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
we're at
yeah.
DEFCON right now. Did you know that?
I heard a rumor that it's as bad as the Cuban nuclear crisis back in
Hmm.
the 60s, and we're on the verge of World War III and nuclear destruction and so forth. I mean, that's what Joe Biden said recently, that we're on the verge of a nuclear, you know, destruction. So, did you hear the president say that we were on the edge of World War III and nuclear
Yes.
holocaust? Okay. Now, is that the same Joe Biden that just absolutely loves smelling the hair of little girls? I'm sorry. That's just it just I'm sorry. Right. It slipped out.
You're
Okay.
killing
I'm
me. You're killing
I'm,
me.
I'm sorry. Or is it the same Joe Biden that falls off a bicycle? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think it may be the same. You talk about hypocrites, and you mentioned earlier that it's on both sides of the aisle, not just the Democrats, but it's
Yes.
also the Republicans. And you've got people like Lindsey Graham that is a warmonger. It's called, we need to keep funneling money into the military complex, and we need to take out, Putin, and we need to take out this person and that dictator and so forth and so on. And we got to use our military strength and do this and so forth and so on. Saying, wait a second, why? That doesn't make sense to me. Is that more hypocrisy?
Yes, it is. I'm just
Okay.
trying to look at Ruben's. Yes, we look at your comments, Ruben.
Yes, yes. But when you stop and think about it, our former president, number 45, the one and only Donald J. Trump, was doing everything he possibly could to get us into a position of peace globally,
Mm-hmm.
and he got us in a position of peace. There were no new wars or conflicts that were started during his term as president. In fact, he was, reducing the temperature all over the place, including North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had to
North,
talk to
how many
North Korea to hear it.
missiles? How many missiles has North Korea fired in the past month over Japan? Where Kim Jong Un is like, "Hey, guys, did you forget about me? I'm still here. I'm
Exactly.
still, I'm still."
Yeah.
relevant and present,
Yeah.
but you forgot about me, so I guess I got to fire more missiles so you know I'm here.
Well,
And now South Korea and Japan are having to, every time he fires a missile,
yes,
go into their bomb shelters or whatever they've got in case he decides to or actually use the missiles to attack, or maybe
exactly.
his missiles malfunction and actually go in and explode accidentally, whatever. And he goes, "Oh, so sorry, my bad."
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
that was a horrible impersonation of Kim
That's
Jong
okay.
Un,
It
but
was a
hey,
little bit hypocritical the way you said that, but that's okay. So,
okay.
but speaking of that, Ray, we need to take another real short break.
Yes, we do.
So when we come back, Ray, can you address some of the stuff that's going on between the United States and China and some of the hypocrisy that's going on there as well?
Sure.
So when we get
Absolutely.
back, then we're gonna take a little trip down memory lane in China. But I need to share with you guys a little bit of information about a fabulous company, LifeWave. LifeWave has been around for almost 20 years, and they have what is called a non transdermal patch. And here's what this patch looks like. I'm going to take the screen off for a second and show you the patch. Here's the patch. It's a little wafer thin patch. And these patches do all different kinds of different things. My favorite patch is the X39 patch. And what the X39 patch does is it helps with rapid pain relief. It helps with reduced inflammation, wound healing, more energy and vitality, better mental clarity. You can see the things on the screen there. It is an absolutely amazing product that helps people feel better. I want to show you a few real quick pictures. Here's a gentleman, he had a skiing accident, and you can see in 5 days how much better he's looking as a result. Here's a man who was in a car accident, did severe damage to his hand, as you can see. And in just 2 months, you can barely see that there were any issues. Here's a young fellow who lost the fingertip, got it closed in a door. And mom and dad scooped up that fingertip, rushed him to the hospital, insisted that they sew that fingertip back on. And in 2 months, he's got full use of his finger. And the last slide is it actually helps you with reducing the amount of wrinkles that you have. And it actually starts to turn the clock back. So we can confidently say that it is designed to help with the age reversal process. So I love the X39, actually, all of the patches from LifeWave. That is just one of them. It happens to be their flagship product. And if you'd like to know how to reverse the aging process yourself, I'm happy to reach out to you and help you feel better and look younger in the process. So, Ray, you got
Not
anything to add to that?
Yes, it's not just feel better, look younger. You see commercials like that all the time on TV where it's like, take this and you'll have more energy, and more this, more that. I think you and I went to a conference for LifeWave
Hmm.
that had thousands of people there that were either distributors or clients of LifeWave.
Yeah,
And we both ran into people that gave us more testimonials on how LifeWave has helped them dealing with pain management, dealing
yeah,
with being able to get back to doing just everyday normal things. If you're somebody that is in pain on a regular basis and you don't want to have to deal with going through any type of surgery where you also have a little bit of a downtime, like a hip replacement surgery, you're looking at, what are you doing to me? Hello. There we
I'm
go.
here. I'm here. I'm listening to you.
uh, Hip replacement surgery, you're looking at about anywhere 4 to 6 month downtime where you can't do a whole lot.
Yeah,
LifeWave gives you the opportunity with no injections, no incisions or anything, to relieve that pain so that you can continue doing everything that you want to do with your life, with your work, or with your family,
Yeah.
without that setback of a surgery. So please get a hold of Steve. Get as much information as you can. Again, be an informed consumer about LifeWave and know what's going on.
Ray, I have to put a disclaimer on this. We
Sure.
don't make medical claims. We're not doctors. We're not pharmacists. We're not research scientists in the medical community. We're not making any medical claims, but I will tell you from personal experience, I've had some pain reduction that happened almost immediately. So, anyway, so reach out. We'd love to help you out and help you get out of pain, get better sleep, better focus. So, Ray, let's go back and let's tackle some of the stuff about China. What's going on with China and our hypocritical government?
Well, can we attach China to Hunter Biden's laptop or Hunter Biden's
Nothing to see there.
dealings dealings with China?
No, it's Russian
Um,
disinformation.
you know, Joe Biden has wanted us to buy more electric vehicles,
Hmm.
and they're trying to do away with coal and other natural resources, which we're not there yet. I'm sure we'll get there someday, but we're not there yet with advanced technology to be able to just go total electric. The components that we need for making the batteries or making the electric vehicles um, are made, I think, predominantly, as you and I had talked about, in Africa and other parts of the world.
Hmm.
And the main investors in those are China.
Yes.
And if you do the research and do the homework, you'll also look at, why is President Biden totally trying to push us into buying more electric vehicles or e-cars? It's because he's invested in it as well.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but you can do your research and look at the opinion as fact. What do you think?
Ray, I've got some information here, a graphic. Unfortunately, I can't share it. Well, I can share it, but it's too small for the screen. But this is from the Institute for Energy Research,
Go ahead
and
and show it. People can take
well,
a screenshot of it and expand it themselves on their own.
there's the image. Okay, again, Institute for Energy Research. They're based in D.C. And I'm going to give you some of the statistics that is on this graphic. Okay, so if you did a Google search or a whatever search, a DuckDuckGo search. Actually, I do DuckDuckGo more than I do the G company. But I'm going to break this down. 51% of the battery materials, the primary materials are lithium, nickel, cobalt, and manganese. Okay, I almost said magnesium. Manganese. Okay, and the primary sources for those different products, specifically the minerals lithium and cobalt, is in South America and Africa. Now, here's where the hypocrisy comes in. Ray, how do you think they mine for these two particular minerals in South America and in Africa? How do you think they are mined?
Hmm. Let me think. Probably use children or
No
no?
way. No way. Ray, I read
Maybe
another.
slave labor. I don't know, where they don't really have a
Ray,
wage.
Right. No, that is Russian disinformation. You can't be saying things like that. Okay. The fact checkers are going to check us out on that. And right, I am I'm
So
ashamed of
what?
you.
So what are the facts, Steve? Tell us.
The facts are that the communist Chinese owned companies are going over to South America and Africa, buying up all of the resources so that we, as Americans, free Americans, are beholden to the Chinese. If we want to get one of these electric vehicles and we want to keep them on the road, we will need to have the minerals in order to build the batteries, which are made in China for the most part. And the fact is that I believe, I may be wrong on this, but I believe that the Biden family has a significant stock ownership in one of the largest Chinese companies in the energy sector. And they're the
Hmm.
ones that are mining all of the cobalt and the lithium. So,
How can we fact check this to see if it's true?
well, I'm going to go back to the Institute for Energy Research, and they've got all the facts in there. You can also go to Epoch Times, EPOCH Times, and theirs is a subscription-based program, but they've got a ton of information. That's where one of the sources that I originally started looking at several months ago about this, all of this information.
And it'll state who the shareholders are. And
Yes, yes,
okay,
yeah. It's pretty shocking. So stop and think about that. If you own an electric vehicle and you need to get a whole new bank of batteries, those batteries are going to be coming from China. 9 times out of 10, they're coming from China. They're not being manufactured in the United States. We don't have the raw materials to make the batteries. So everything's coming out of Chinese controlled areas. That's the fact. Okay.
can we talk about um, COVID?
Can we? Yeah, we may be
Can we
censored.
talk about the vaccines? Can we talk about
Can we?
how there's information coming out now
I,
that more or less says the Johnson and Johnson or Moderna vaccines aren't even vaccines because they actually don't prevent you from getting COVID. A
yeah.
vaccine is something that's supposed to prevent you from getting measles, mumps, chickenpox, whatever. But people that have gotten shot after shot after shot after shot, hey, guess what? They still get COVID.
Ray, and my apologies.
Who's making money on this?
Well, the pharmaceutical companies are making billions of dollars. Ray, that would be a great deal for us to get into. We start a company that there is no indemnity whatsoever. We cannot be sued. We can't be, charged in any way. No criminal prosecution. We know for a fact that it will cause injury to people. It's going to hurt them some way, sometimes fatally, but we can't be charged in any of those things. It's not our responsibility. Nobody can come after us, and we make billions of dollars. What do you think? Is that a good deal for us?
I'm looking at some of the comments that we're getting from our viewers. Let's read one of them.
Wear a mask. Oh, please.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Biden's
Uh,
marijuana pardon won't release a single inmate. Incarceration rates are driven by violent crime, not drug crime. Democrats don't like that story. Um, there's so many violent criminals that are being released
yeah.
on a regular basis
Yeah.
that are not being prosecuted or
Yeah.
charged,
To do
and
more
they're
violent
back on the
crime.
streets
Yeah.
and they're doing more violent crimes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I just disappear. There I am. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with my camera.
Ray, real quick, I read an article in the past couple of days that was related to the Surgeon General for the state of Florida. And he is saying basically that these vaccines, again, what you said earlier, they're not vaccines. And he is canceling all of the mandates for anybody that lives in Florida, whether it's school children or adults or whatever. So the only thing he has to work on is getting around all of the federal employees, like our military.
Right.
But he had some really pretty strong things that he wrote in an article that I just read. Excuse me, just read. My apologies. I don't remember where the article was. It was probably Epoch Times. Again, one of my main sources for good factual information these days.
So my question is, why aren't other governors not following suit and doing similar things as Governor DeSantis?
Uh,
I'm at some of them are, but Governor DeSantis is in the news almost every day for
yes, yes,
everything that he says and does. I mean, they've
yeah,
got a microscope on him just as much as they did on Donald Trump.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
He is the enemy right now. He is the enemy. He's a genius enemy, and I love it. And if I was in Florida, I'd vote for him. I'm in Texas. I'll vote for Greg Abbott because Greg Abbott, along with with Governor DeSantis, they're showing the woke liberals exactly what the problems are that we are dealing with in Texas with the illegal immigration crowd, and by shipping illegals to places like Washington D.C. and dropping them off right outside of Sister Nancy's house, or out of what's her name, the vice president,
Kamala.
the the black woman that's not a black woman.
Oh my
So
gosh, what
yeah,
is
so
wrong with you?
right,
You're so racist.
hey, I'm not the no. She's the one that said that she's black, and she's not. She's, I mean, Indian and Jamaican, if my memory serves me. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
Well, you're
I got
making me
woke there.
crazy.
Oh, Ray, it's so bad. What a jerk. So
I
anyway,
think
jerk
we need
season.
to kind of do a recap on everything and then kind of end the show on an inspirational thought.
Please do
Uh,
give us some inspiration, Ray.
so I hope our show on hypocrisy was slightly educational.
Biased.
Do your fact checking though,
Yes.
because I'm sure we've got a lot of stuff wrong. But the whole point behind our show is to get people to do more research, to
Yeah.
get people to not base everything on what they see on Facebook or Twitter or social media or even
Absolutely.
mainstream media.
Absolutely.
We want to be entertaining. We hope you were entertained by Steve and my antics. Um,
There's more to come.
we're,
You know,
we're
Ray,
we're just being ourselves. We're
yeah,
just being ourselves.
and Ray,
But
the closer we get to the election, though, we've got some interesting things coming up in a couple of weeks.
so
So
let us know who our guests are going to be coming up.
well, I know that in a couple of weeks we've got Paul Russo. I'm sorry, Anthony Russo. He's also a podcaster. We actually had him on several months ago, and he was talking about First Amendment rights. He's going to be talking about election integrity and more First Amendment things, and he's definitely one that you want to tune in. And that's going to be the last Wednesday of the month, I believe, month of October.
Sure.
And then you know what, Ray? I'm working on a feel good conversation also with a gentleman that is with the organization. Well, I'll go ahead and spill the beans. It's called Wreaths Across America. And what they do is they go to national cemeteries and they have whole teams of volunteers that put wreaths on all of the cemeteries, literally coast to coast, for all of our fallen vets. So that's we're gonna do that. That one's gonna be right before Thanksgiving.
We've got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, and we want to have feel good stories for everyone for the
Yes.
holidays. So
And we've got some other things that we're talking about also that if we can get all of the details worked out, we've got another eye opener on some of the stuff from a religious perspective. So if we can get all of the I's dotted and T's crossed, then that'll be another one that you'll want to tune into.
And we are hopefully got some more good news for everyone where we have the potential of becoming syndicated. We will know more about that coming up within the next week or so. So we're excited to reach a broader audience. In the meantime, you can go to our Facebook page, like, share, and comment. You can go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe,
Yes.
and leave comments, leave us a review, let us know what you think. I've got a little outgoing message for everyone. This is by Ann Bradford. And Ann says, tell the negative committee that meets inside of your head to sit down and shut up.
I love it. Right. We'll have to address that offline because we're out of time. Right.
Be
As always, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a blessed day.
You too. Be positive.
We'll see you next time.
All
Bye,
right.
folks.